Today, we'll look at a new feature of our visitor management solution called delivery management. Part of visitor management, which means if your users are licensed with a Zoom Workplace bundle, or you can add visitor management individually to different users, that'll entitle them to be able to not only invite and receive visitors in your organization, but also deliver packages to them and send them notifications that they have new deliveries in the office. In your Zoom admin portal, under workspace management is where you can come to configure all the important setup for workspace reservation, where you can have all your different floor plans, points of interest, bookable spaces, etc. Visitor management, where you can manage all the sites where you can invite and receive visitors, allowing the usage of the kiosk to have those users register and check in. And as we're discussing today, delivery management. To get started with delivery management, we first need to enable the locations where we'll be receiving packages and scan them into the system. So I can add a delivery space. It's going to pull from my existing location directory within my Zoom Spaces part of my portal and see all the different buildings, campuses, floors, etc. So I can come in here and set up a new package pickup zone on any specific building, floor, etc. that I'd like to. We'll take a look at some that I've already set up. If we drill in on my Port LaBelle location, which we've seen as part of the demo today, we can see there's some settings that you can turn on and off. You can require specific bits of data, or you can leave them optional and leave them unchecked. When you're using the mobile app to scan those packages in, we're going to automatically populate these things by utilizing that picture taking capability from the mobile app. You'll also see here where you can choose what you want your users to do when they receive their package or when they collect their package, whether you want them to take a picture from that kiosk or sign on the kiosk. Again, this is optional. If you don't want to require that, you can turn that off. You also see here we're giving a name to our specific pickup locations. So you want to be able to identify them because you're scanning packages in. You say, am I scanning these in here at Port LaBelle, at Calhoun, at Denver, in Texas, so on and so forth. So you want to be able to make sure you've got a clear, concise name for this particular delivery zone. And then this is also what I use to create that pickup point of interest on the workspace maps. I match the same name I'm using here as I create a point of interest on the map so my end users can search for that delivery zone and get wayfinding directions to find the pickup area to retrieve their packages. Let's see how this application works. On the screen here, we see a couple of things right now. We've got a mobile app running on the right-hand side and a Zoom interactive kiosk on the left. There's different applications that can run on that kiosk. Today, we're going to focus on just the deliveries button, and we'll get to that in just a moment. We'll start in the mobile device. When your packages get delivered to the office, your UPS, FedEx, USPS, Amazon, Uber Eats, DoorDash, Grubhub, flower deliveries, etc., they can be received by your reception or your receiving room and then entered into the Zoom platform to notify your recipients that they have packages to pick up. And this is going to be done ideally within the Zoom mobile application. When I click on my Workspaces tab and switch over to Deliveries, I can see all the deliveries as an admin that are available in the system, not just my own. A regular end user, when they click on Deliveries on their Zoom client, they're only going to see packages associated to them. But as the admin, I can see everything that's in the system right now, and I can also add new things into the system utilizing the blue button in the bottom right. So as I hit that button, it's going to open up the camera on my mobile device and allow me to scan the packages into the system. As I take a picture of that label, we are going to parse the information off that label, including the carrier and the tracking number, as well as try to do a recipient match to users within your account. So remember, you do have to have a visitor management license associated to a user in order to assign a package to them. So my licensed users, the one that could be here are Mike and Dan. If I take a quick look at my label, I see it was for Dan, so I can select Dan. UPS was automatically filled in, as well as the tracking number. And of course, we have a picture of that package that we took. Next, we need to tell Dan where he can go to pick up his package. So from the delivery spaces, any locations that are set up to manage deliveries and that you as an admin have permissions to would show here. So in this case, I'm going to tell Dan that his package is available at the Port LaBelle building. I can add an additional note if I'd like to. That's optional. At this point, I can just hit save. And this package has been added into the system. And you can see it here, Dan K, admin. There's a delivery at 2:50 p.m. on April 3rd. If we jump over to our Zoom desktop client for a moment, let me look at my awaiting pickup. And I can see a new package came in at 250. I can see a picture of that package. And at this point, I can take some action. I could mark it as picked up. Probably not going to do that till I actually go receive my package, though. I can mark it as not my delivery. I'll take a look at the picture there and like, yeah, no, that's not mine. Sorry, you picked the wrong user. So I can say not my delivery and send it back to the admin to reassign to someone else. Or I can mark it as lost. If I go to retrieve my package and I don't find it there, I can mark it as lost, which is going to notify the admin. Now, in addition to seeing this in the Zoom desktop client under deliveries with the workspaces tab, I also can receive notification through Zoom team chat that I had a new package. Here, I can even zoom in a little bit more on that label because it's a little bit bigger here in the chat. This chat message can also come to Microsoft Teams as well as Slack. And of course, if I were to go to my Outlook or my Google Mail, I'll also find notification in my email about this package as well. And all these delivery notification methods, email, Zoom team chat, Microsoft Teams, and Slack can be configured on and off within your user settings. So at this point, I got notified I have a package. I can see the package here. I could act on it, but I'm not going to yet. Instead, I'm going to walk down the hall to my mailroom and go to an interactive Zoom kiosk. Here at the kiosk, I can walk up to it and press the deliveries button. Or if the only thing you want to do on this kiosk is deliveries, it could default right to that application. As I hit the deliveries button, it's going to ask me to search for a package. So I'm going to put in my name here, looking for my packages. And there I am. I select my name and it says I have a package available for pickup. So let's go ahead and click on that package and take a look. Here I can see the picture of the package again. I can see the details about it. If the notes field had been filled out, I'd see a note there too. Maybe it said it's really heavy, bring a cart, something like that. At this point, as I'm looking around the mailroom, if I don't see my package, I can mark it as lost, notifying my admin that my package wasn't there so they can go hunt it down for me, or I can choose to pick it up. When I pick it up, we have two settings that you can enable. One is take a picture from the kiosk, the other is sign. So in my account here, I have it set up to sign for my packages. So as I choose to pick it up, I'm going to sign my name and hit the confirm, and that package has now been picked up, and it'll default back to our main screen in just a moment. If we jump back to our Zoom desktop client, I'll refresh my screen here and we can see that my package, sure enough, has been picked up. If I click on it, I could, again, change the status. If I signed an error, I didn't really get it, I can mark it back to waiting pickup. If I click on the package itself, I can see the tracking log of when it was received at the building and notified me, and when I picked it up, including the signature I signed on that kiosk. This is how we utilize the platform within the Zoom mobile app, the Zoom desktop app, and the Zoom interactive kiosk. But your mailroom may not have a mobile app available to them, or they may not have a kiosk that they're using. So this also can all be done within the Zoom admin portal as well. As an admin on delivery management, you'll come into the admin part of the portal, go to delivery management, and here you can see the list of all the packages that have been scanned in. Let me just refresh my screen since we scanned a package a moment ago. We'll see that latest one just popped in here. So I can see that package is here. I can see its status. And again, I can change status. I could delete it. I can click on it and see its history and signature. I also can add deliveries right here through the web portal. So I click add delivery. I can put in the information. Here it's going to be a very manual process. I've got to put that in on my own, which is why the preferred method for your admins is to use the Zoom mobile app, where you can just scan those packages with the camera on your iPhone or your Android phone and have all these things populated automatically. We also do support the ability to scan those packages in at the kiosk. So if I jump back to my kiosk, when we hit that deliveries button, there's also an option in the upper left that says add a delivery. And right here, it's actually going to activate the camera on your kiosk. This can work great if your kiosk is an iPad. If your kiosk is a more hardened Android appliance like a D10Me or a Neat Frame, it may not be as user-friendly. In a Neat Frame or a D10Me, you just have that single camera to work with. So you're going to have to hold your packages up in front of that camera in order to scan them in, which is why the mobile device tends to be a little more user-friendly. Your users must be licensed for visitor management in order to use delivery management. As you see here, I can apply it or remove it to any users that I want. So if you don't have everyone on a Zoom Workplace bundle license, you can purchase visitor management separately, edit any users in your account, add on that visitor management as long as you have enough available, and those users will now be entitled to use delivery management. If you have questions about subscriptions and licensing within your Zoom account, please always reach out to your Zoom account team.